Hello guys, we continue learning about square root, and for this video we will learn about the second new technique about the square root. In last video you already learned about the first new technique of square root, and I want to remind you about this first. You have the integer and multiply with the square root like this, and then I want to change this become to the single square root, so I will do it by this one. And here is the way how can I do it. I will move the 3 here outside the bracket. I move it to inside the square root. And here is the way how can I do this. The outside square root and inside the square root or under square root. So I want to move the 3 here from outside square root become to under the square root, and I will take 3 and take 3 square in here, and then I put it square root in this position. And after this action you got 5 times 9, and then I'm got 49 is my final answer for this changing. Okay, so what is the second new technique? You can image like this. When you have square root of multiplication a times b, you can separate this one become to 2 square root here and here. Another one I want to revise you is this one. Here is your knowledge, okay? Because we have that's writing that square root of 5 times 9, and here is square root of 5 times 9, and I want to change this become to 2 square root, and I can separate this one from 1 square root become to 2 square root of 5 multiply square root of 9 here. And you can see here square root of 5 I cannot figure out because that is not square number, but square root of 9 I can, because square root of 9 I'm got 3. So square root of 5 times 3 you can write out like this, but for this writing is not nice. I think I will move 3 here in front of this one because I can change position. Square root of 5 times 3 is can be write out like 3 times square root of 9, and this one is more nice. This one is more nice. Okay, this writing is more beautiful. Okay, so that is the way how can you change or how can you separate the 1 square root become to more 2 square root or 3 square root. Okay, another thing you can work it like this. You got 2 times 4 times 25 here, and for this multiplication you got 3 terms, you got 3 number 2, 4, 25, and all of them is positive number, so I can change this become to square root of 2, square root of 4, and square root of 25. Yeah, square root of 2 I don't know, that is not square number, that is not square number. Square root of 4 here is 2, square root of 25 here is 5. So 2 times 5 you got 10. 2 times 5 you got 10. So square root 2 times 10, but I can change position become this one. So this is more right writing. Okay, 10 first and then you have the square root. Okay, the beginning of that number should be integer number, and then the next one will be square root or non-square number. Yeah, okay. So how about this one? You got 100 times 3. Okay, so for this action you have 100 times 3, you got 2 terms, and I can separate 1 square root become to 2 square root. The first square root you got here square root of 100, and the second one you got 3 here, and then square root of 100, that is the square number, so this result will be 10. I've got 10, and then you have square root of 3 like this. Okay, so this form is right because you have beginning of this term is integer and the second one is square root. The complicated part you can put it behind. Just practice a little bit about this question. You have this slide, and you have here for separating, and you can change from a single square root become more complicated form, but you can calculate by yourself. Okay, for this one, how can I show your working out? My working out for here, you got 4 and 3, 2 terms, so square root 4 times square root of 3, and square root of 4 I know the result. The resultant number is true. Okay, good writing. For this one, I'm going to square root 9 multiply square root 5, and I have 3 times square root 5. For the next one, you got square root 16 multiply square root of 7, and here is 4 times square root of 7. And here you got square root of 49 and square root 3, and then you got 7 times square root 3. And for this one, you got 100 times square root 5, and then you got 10 times square root 5. The same thing for this one, you got 121 under square root multiply square root 2. This one is square number, so that's why I'm got here 169. Okay, this is square number multiply square root 3. This one equal to here. Okay, for this question, you got square root of 400 multiply square root of 2, and then you got 20 times square root 2. Okay, for this one, square root of 9 times square root of 16. All of them, 9 and 16 are square root number, square number. So I've got here is 3, here is 4. Of course, the result will be 12. And for this one, okay, 100 and square root for 100, you got 10. And you obtain from this one is 2. So 20 is my final answer for this question. Last 5 example. For these 5 questions, you have 3 terms under the square root. So one by one, you can work it by yourself. Here is square root of 3. The next one is square root of 64. And last one, you got square root of 81. So square root of 3, I don't know because this is not the square number. 64 is 8. 81 is 9. So I can move here. Square root of 3, 72, and then change position. 72 will be the first, and the square root 3 will be behind. Okay, so here is 2, square root of 25, square root of 4, square root of 2, I will repeat. Square root 25, you got 5. Square root of 4, you got 2. So square root 2 times 10, move it to the first, and square root 2 will be behind. The next one, you got here square root of 9, square root of 16, and here is 12, here is 3, and here is 4. Okay, 144, because 12 times 3 times 4 is 124. The next one, you got 3 terms. First term is 400, square root 400, square root 25, square root 36. Square root 400, you got 20. Square root of 25, you got 5. And the last one, you got 6. Okay, so 20 times 30, you got 600. And the last one, you got square root of 36, square root 5, and square root 4. So for this one, you got 6, square root 5, and you got 2. And then you got 12 because 6 times 2 equal to 12 square root 5, like this. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video, and I really hope you can understand about this technique. Thank you and see you next time. Bye bye.